Friend or food? Cute friend or delicious lunch? Whichever way you swing, the culinary world is definitely moving towards dishes where animals stay friends. And we murder vegetables instead. I mean, even the king of popcorn chicken in Taipei has an entire section dedicated to vegetarian versions of his famous dish.
My first time trying vegetarian popcorn chicken. 我觉得吃起来我不会联想到说它是一个鸡肉，
对，
但它有自己非常非常独特的口感。
对。
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Because Taiwanese people have always had a tradition with plant-based recipes.
Religiously, they will not eat meat on either the 1st and the 15th or the 2nd and the 16th days of every lunar month.
And there's also a traditional way that we make our vegetarian food.
Taiwan's vegetarian cuisine is based on creating something that tastes like meat.
I know, that may sound weird for folks who really just want to get as far away from meat as possible. But hey, it's one way we do it, but not the only wok trick we know. So this time around, what I want to do is discover Taiwan's fascination with vegetarian cuisine. And perhaps learn a thing or two. After all, if there's a growing market for this niche, I better get a head start as well. And what better way than to explore the recipes of my people? My name is Eric Z. I'm just a Taiwanese guy living in New York City. I run 2 restaurants serving my version of Taiwanese food. And I'm constantly trying to find new ways to cook the same old things, and even create new dishes based on experiences that I've spent away from my childhood home.
My mom cooks this at home, so I grew up eating a lot of Shanghainese-style red-cooked pork belly.
As you might have guessed, I'm pretty big on all the meaty stuff from the Taiwanese menu. You could say that I know very little about how to please these plant-based folks. And I really want to change that. It is, after all, a growing market. And if there's a pot of money somewhere, this Taiwanese hustler will be sure to sniff out those recipes beneath the lid. To be fair, besides Taiwan, Asia has had its fair share of expertise in vegetarian cooking, way before it became trendy. Let me sidetrack and give you one of my favorite examples. The Indians, for instance, have had a thriving vegetarian scene for centuries, and its tastes have been exported across the globe. But why is it so popular? And that's what I'm getting at. Trends aside, for any cuisine to survive, people need to like it. Or as we Taiwanese would say, you need people to want to pay for it. And so my question is, for Taiwanese vegetarian cuisine that is so deeply rooted in religious connections, can the flavors actually travel further than our island? So I decided to explore a lead in another Asian food capital. Apparently, hidden in a food court somewhere in sprawling Bangkok is a small little Taiwanese vegetarian place that has a bit of a cult following.
Thailand is quite a place, man. Everything is so bold. It's like they take every single thing they do and dial it up to 11. Whether it be the architecture, the people, their passion, their transportations, and let alone the food, you know? Like the food is ultra flavorful, funky, sweet, sour, salty, spicy. So it's interesting to see. How can you open up a Buddhist vegetarian place in Thailand where the Buddhists here don't really even eat vegetarian food? 超级好吃，真的超级好吃。Delicious, man. This is. I'm alive now. I love Thailand. Hello， 老板你好。你好，你好，你好，老板娘你好。
我现在这边的菜单啊，
哎
基本上都是已经有一点改良过，
啊哈，
因为不是纯粹我们台湾的风味而已。因为泰国人他的饮食习惯呢比较偏酸，那像我是高雄人啊，
哎，
那高雄又是甜，我们自古就有那个观念叫北咸南甜嘛。
对对对。
那后来呢，我到这里真的是东南亚，真的很甜。这个我叫做八风面，
八风面。
八风是那个佛教用语。
哦，那以前就是开店之前就是做餐饮的吗？
不是，
之前做什么？
当然当过兵哦，后来到中国大陆去一段，
做生意吗？还是？
对，做生意。其实我卖素食是我老婆的 idea， 不是我。
好的主意都是老婆来的，往往都是这样，大家都是这样。你每一道就是面是现切的是吗？
是，
然后现点现切，
对。
超级
然后
新鲜
等一下我煮面也跟别人啊，我们在看人家煮面，
啊
都会用一个笼子
这样卡进去，
放进去。
对，
我通常都面滚。
啊哈，水滚以后，
水滚下面，下面呢，然后啊就要龙行四海。
龙群四海，就是一直嚼它。
对，
这个意义就是让它比较能够多方面接触到水，这样它煮的比较均匀，是吗？
这面条才会活嘛。
看您这个字真的是像在家里做饭一样，
是，
就是为什么家里吃的东西就是比较好吃，就是你有办法做。
因为我这里应付的很多都是婆婆妈妈呀，我那个特别挑剔。
对，
还有遇到我这个大嗓门，偶尔就啊，好了，这是辣椒酱，
自己打的。
对，但是这个在泰国买不到，因为我没办法，我只有自己做，大概跟你初到纽约的那个概念一模一样。
对，就是
很多配料找不到啊，那没办法啊，那想又做不到啊，打电话跟妈咪求救啊。
然后辣椒油也是自己炸的。
全部，
你那个水多久换一次啊？
基本上都喝光了。
哦，是吗？就是全部这样收到光再加水。
No， 因为我早上要烫蔬菜，它变成蔬菜汤。
哦。
然后我那个干面人喜欢喝汤，我就给他这个蔬菜汤。
就是这个汤。
就这个汤。
OK， 了解。That pot of
对
noodle water
不是
is
鸭肉
actually not water. It's every morning he has to blanch a bunch of vegetables and a bunch of like tofu, mushrooms, anything for his sauces for his noodles. So using that sort of vegetable broth, he boils noodles with them. So it adds like a different layer. It adds a slight hint of sweetness of vegetables. These are the small things. 来，谢谢。Certainly feels like visiting your grandparents. Your grandparents opened a stall in Bangkok. We just came and didn't ask for anything, and immediately was handed 2 beverages. Oh man.
OK。
This drink is like, this embodies sort of the Thai palate. It's sweet, it's a little salty. Oh, 谢谢. And you know what? It could be spicy too. Like I could see this as a spicy drink. So goddamn refreshing. everybody has. The obnoxious, super loud, always crazy, and their children are somewhat always embarrassed to be around them at social gatherings. He's got that personality. His volume is like 300% louder than anybody else around him. Honestly, after being in America for 13 years, it's nice to meet somebody like that, you know? It's super Taiwanese. He kind of embodies the Taiwanese hospitality to a T. The people who just want to make money, and they're the people who, you know, doing this kind of almost for fun. But because of his contagious passion, you know, he's able to succeed.
The main thing now is, does his food match his personality?
This is their signature, yeah? So we got tofu, julienne cucumbers, julienne raw carrots, wood ears, a heaping mountain of cilantro, and I think it's a little bit of sesame oil on top. So it's sweet with a lot of five spice, but it is much, much sweeter than what you get in Taiwan. And I wonder if that's kind of altering their palate for the local demographic. From the get-go, that you notice the difference in the texture of the noodle immediately. It's super bouncy. After seeing what they go through, kneading the dough, letting it rest, and then cutting it to order, because every time you agitate your dough, it affects the proteins kind of react, and it would agitate the dough and have a different texture. So the fact that they cut it to order and then cook it right after they cut it, there's a level of freshness to it that you simply don't find anywhere else. The sauce seems like sesame oil, soy sauce, sugar, something mysterious in there. It's a sweetness that isn't really just like white sugar. I can't put my finger on it, but it tastes like something, honestly, your grandparents would make for you at home. I don't even miss the meat. All right, let's try the duck noodles. Duck, but it's really smoked tofu. They smoke this themselves. This is a pretty classic way of smoking protein in Chinese cuisine, honestly. Sugar, you put on the bottom and you burn the sugar, and the smoke from the burning sugar would penetrate the protein. And I can't really comment on the seasoning of these because I find myself in a situation where I don't know what he put into it. It just tastes so damn good. There really isn't that much more to say about it, except for me to find out what to put into these noodles.
这是道地的台湾风味。
对，
台北吃是这样子吗？
觉得你们是有用黑芝麻吗？
白芝麻。
它很香的芝麻味，它又带有芝麻本身那种淡淡的苦味。我很好奇，这个在你们店里卖得好吗？
它算是想要接受台湾味的人，又不吃辣的人首选。
了解 ，OK。因为我是觉得说，起码我这几天在泰国吃到的东西，味道跟面条的形式都比较不是像这样子干拌的。
是。
然后它这个味道又微微的苦，但还是很甜。
因为他们没有去尝到用这样的方式把它磨成酱，等于说他们没有麻酱。据我的了解，当地的天气不适合吃麻酱。然后呢，他吃的我觉得他们都吃的偏冷。就我们刚才聊到的一个概念，就是他吃蔬菜都吃生的啊，送咱们都来东北人。
对。吃得出你所有的细节的用心啦，这个是我觉得我这一趟来最大的感想。I can't figure it out. How are you able to make a noodle dish that good without using the most fundamental ingredients, 葱蒜? It's like cement with building a wall, right? You just can't not have it. So he's gonna take us shopping later, and I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit of a clue of what he puts into it, just judging from what he buys, because he's not really budging on telling me his secrets.
我们觉得我们卖东西有一点，就像你讲的，有一点快乐嘛。
对，
待在家里面，两个夫妻待在家里，我们一放假就是修理东西了。哦，真是
不是修理对方，
啊，不是。
但很累，就是每天都要几点钟起床啊？
我通常6点多一点点，我老婆比较早起来。但是呢，我们这样子有的时候2天一次买一次啊，所以中间还是会有那个，要不然天天像有的时候比较忙一点，回到家1点呢，还好这个商场啊，蛮体贴我们的，知道我们2个年纪比较大，晚来迟到也不要紧，这样。哦，先跟你介绍，这里是专门卖，好像就是进口冷冻蔬菜，就是在这个市场。
这边是专门冷冻，所以是
那等一下
外来的。
对，那边呢？那一边是当地的 local 的，
了解，
现采的。
OK。你在这边都买番茄是吗？
对，然后他都让我自己选。一般的人喜欢这个，对他来讲，他需要这个，因为他放着可以多放几天啊。
对。
但是对我来讲，我是一定要红透的，因为就是那个红透的嘛，我们在做菜的时候是比较适合。哦，都来了。来了呢。
对，买黄瓜。为什么在这一家挑黄瓜？它有什么特别好？
不是，我们没有选定哪一家，就是看货色怎么样，
就是看顺眼了。这好可爱哦。当年你在台湾有做饭吗？
我在台湾是妈宝啊。
那你怎么学的？
其实我是陪我妈妈做菜的啊。然后你说什么时候真正学呢？就是在外面，然后跟老婆过来这边的时候，就是整换了20啊，就没有人煮斋饭给你吃啊。就像你讲的，你自己要进修一下这样。
对，对不对？而且网络上现在也很好查了。
但是
看一看，
对，很好查是没有错，但是里面它那窍门不告诉你，
会有一些小 tip， 你要自己去。
对，
所以嘴巴还是要比较灵。
对，有你的嘴巴特别灵。
没有。你的秘密武器，你觉得会是什么？如果硬要讲一个的话，你的面条那个酱里面的那个调味啊。
哦，哎呦，你所说的那个什么？
是那个罗汉那个什么？
八方面对吧？
啊，对。这个甜味到底是什么？刚刚一直在想，但是搞不清楚。
今天你觉得那个素食真的你吃合你的口味吗？
很好，真的很合，真的。尤其八方面，我也很喜欢吃那个鲜鸭面的那个。对，我一直在想那个酱到底是什么，到底加的是什么，知道吗？所以绝对没有那么单纯。没关系，不用讲，我自己慢慢想，So we went out with them last night to the market. Really cool market, 24 hours. They still wouldn't tell me what the secret is, but my guess, honestly, is probably the usage of an old braise. The Luwei stores you see on the streets of Taiwan, they all use sort of like a similar technique as have an old base of braising liquid that you've kind of carried through for decades, and some people claim centuries. But the fact is, so much flavor has concentrated in that broth, they might be adding that old braise into the noodle sauce. So when I asked him whether or not he uses the traditional way of carrying over braising liquid, he had this really cute and introverted smile while he kind of remained silent. So I'm guessing maybe I have something there.
One thing that is not so secret, however, is Boss Xie's passion to promote vegetarian cuisine. I mean, he and his wife want to be the foot in the door for folks wanting to try a plant-based diet. And obviously, they don't just preach it. They make their vegetarian dishes so good that you don't even miss meat at all. And that comes back to what I said about the key factor for cuisines to survive. It has to be good, and they must sell. Nothing can last based on ideals. People need to really like what they're putting into their mouths. And I just got another lead back in Taiwan about a Buddhist temple group that's taken their menu across the world.
We're here at Foguangshan because they have 50 different chapters throughout the world, New York included. So it's an understatement to say that they're a key player in Buddhist vegetarian cuisine throughout the world. So I'm here to see what's up.
我们煮一个台湾的小吃蚵仔煎，我把它变成素的。
好，谢谢。
这个就是所有的食材，那这个就是代替荤的蚵仔。
OK。
我们为了素的必须要增加一点香气，那我就自己做了素肉燥，大麦做的蛋白
OK，
然后加一点香菇，还有大帽黑瓜。它的鲜度的话，我是用杏鲍菇。
然后也是就是酱油、五香这些吗？
酱油我没有放五香
，OK，
我就放胡椒粉，
胡椒粉，
一点糖。那这个是因为素的，那我们要让它有一点海味，就加了这个海苔。等一下可以马上试啊。
好，可以。
那所谓吃素，它的原本的用意是说，我们要有一颗慈悲的心。那借由吃素的这样的一个行动，我不杀生嘛，然后借由这样的一颗慈悲的心，那我们把它推广到我们的生活当中。所以本来佛陀时代并没有说规定一定要吃素，因为那时候是托钵乞食，信众给什么就吃什么。那到后来传到中国之后呢，梁武帝他开始去推这个戒杀文，他就规定出家人不可以吃肉。
好，就不客气了。
好，请用。怎么样？
真的好吃，虽然味道上当然是跟外面买的荤的蚵仔煎味道还是会有不一样，但是完全没有输外面的味道。海带跟红喜菇的这样子的配合，煎过以后有微微焦焦，然后下面是被蒸到的地方就是软软的，焦焦软软，配上红喜菇的那个本身的鲜味，但是又不是说完全海鲜的鲜味，吃起来就是非常的干净，
比较清爽。
对，清爽。 Making vegetarianism a lot more accessible for people, whether it be from economic level, spiritual, or religious level. It's cool to kind of rub off on her passion and direction and what she's kind of devoted her life to. So in terms of the Taiwanese context, right? She's sort of fusing, and I don't know if she views herself as kind of an innovator for vegetarian cuisine, but she's certainly putting her own ideas and putting her own thoughts. And it's almost so simple that you feel like there's gotta be some sort of disguise.
这一道菜我介绍一下，这里面有很多食材哦。
番茄面，
对，红喜菇，然后高丽菜腌过了，然后这个是自己煮的番茄酱。那这一道呢，在我们出家之后要去受戒，要点这个，那就叫做三坛大戒。那三坛大戒在受戒的时候呢，我们身上会背一个钵，那吃饭的时候呢，叫吃钵饭，
钵饭，
托钵的那个钵，吃钵饭呢，里面的上堂斋就是其中之一，就是罗汉菜汤。那罗汉菜汤呢，它用了就是各种新鲜的食材，然后大概有10种或是15种，然后就把它煮成一大锅。传统的罗汉菜汤它只有汤而已，那就是有可能就是里面就盛饭啊什么的。那现代人呢，我就把那个想法，然后把它变成说我们现代人可以接受的。
So, at its soul, it's very, very Taiwanese, right? The guosao yimian itself, it's like, you find it on the streets everywhere. It's typically with seafood, and the udon aspect is just, to a T, is what it is. Oh. 酸酸甜甜，很开胃，真的很开胃。金针菇萃取物乌龙面，
对，外面卖的乌龙面都是这样软软烂烂的，
巴巴的。
对，那吃过我们的之后呢，他就敢吃了。
这口感跟口香糖一样 Q，
很好吃。
对，真的。
但是它是天然的。
大师，我想问啊，因为像这些菜都是您创意出来的，那像你在佛光30年，这30年里面，你有见到素食的改变一些变化吗？
我们讲30年前，它就是比较老式的那个素食做法，而且那个时代塑料刚刚出来，就是一些加工食品，比如说像说素虾、素火腿啊，什么那种比较像肉、鱼之类的。如果说你在做菜的时候添加一些那个东西，就会觉得说哇，这一餐好丰盛啊。慢慢的，这个网际网络也比较流通啊，世界各国的料理大家也都能够看得到。然后有一些法师去了，比如说我们在美国，然后纽约，像我呢，我是去日本，就菲律宾啊哪里都有我们自己的道场。那这些法师呢，像我去日本呢，我是去到那边才开始，我还不会煮怎么办？开始学，那开始学呢，所以我会的就是比较日式的东西啊，所以每一个法师呢，比如说去欧洲的回来，他教一点他欧洲的料理，然后马来西亚的法师回来做马来西亚的，像我们现在卖的咖喱就是马来西亚的味道。
也是因为透过佛光的世界化，这边的素食
也慢慢的改变，然后再来就是比如说 YouTube，那 YouTube 我们会看到，哎，这一国的这个料理，哎，感觉好像不错，可是它有鱼啊有肉啊怎么办？想办法。
I am on Instagram all the time. I am on YouTube all the time, looking at things that I wish I could eat, but I can't because I'm in the States, and she's doing exactly the same thing that I am doing.
我们在滴水坊煮东西，大师说用心还不够，你还要把你的心煮了给人家吃。这是星云大师的慈悲心愿。他在年轻的时候生了一场病，很严重。我的师公托人家带了半碗的咸菜去给大师吃，吃完之后身体就渐渐有力气，就好起来之后呢，他就立志发愿说师父对他那么好，那他将来呢，他滴水之恩呢要涌泉以报，所以我们所有佛光山的这个餐厅呢就叫滴水坊。那来到山上，如果说错过用餐时间，你还有一个地方可以让你的肚子呢有一个安慰的地方。
Vegetarian restaurants in Taiwan are perhaps different to vegetarian restaurants in the West in the sense they attract a lot of non-vegetarians. In Taiwan, a lot of people are vegetarian part-time or for a specific period in their life. Sometimes if a member of the family is sick and they go to a temple to consult a fortune teller, or they do some divination activity in the temple, the outcome may be that the god is instructing them to follow a vegetarian diet until the person recovers. Whereas in the West, it's mostly intrinsic. You know, the person decides for their own reasons.
Now I'm curious, is there anyone making vegetarian cuisine as an art itself, and not just strictly for religious reasons? I heard about this old restaurant in Taipei that has an almost mythical reputation for its vegetarian cooking.
这个看起来非常非常厉害，你可以跟我解说一下这一道是什么吗？
烤方就从烤鸭把它转过来的。
了解。
哎，那这个像我们的面皮啊，都刚刚看到那个面皮都是现擀的，
对，
擀过之后煎过之后，然后再蒸过，比较不会那么硬的，吃起来口感很好。
那这个是主要的原料是什么？
它这个是像外皮这个哈，它是腐衣里面要包一些像金针菇啊、蔬菜啊、香菇啊。
你如果不跟我说是素的，我不会这样说。但我觉得这一句话不尊重这一道菜，是完全不像北京烤鸭。但那当然，因为它没有鸭的味道嘛。
对。
但是它本身就有它每一个非常讨喜的口感。
像我们乡村饼啊，荤菜它是大饼卷牛肉。那我们这个素的就没有，那素的就香椿，我们用香椿下去做的，加香油下去打成香椿酱，里面是包小黄瓜。
It's the elasticity of the dough. Eating this makes you realize that what you liked about the beef wrap was the scallion pancake and not the beef.
沾点辣椒酱，
我觉得不用沾辣椒酱。这个面皮它本身的 Q 度是完全在一个自己的领域里面的。这一道菜，
铁板猴头菇，
也是一直会想要去把它跟肉比，
很像肉，
很像那个我老婆是东北人，很像锅包肉，尤其那个这上面裹炒出来那个酱啊。老板，你们做菜的原理跟想法，你会想要说我所有的菜都是必须要是北方料理吗？
现在其实很多都是南北河，老一辈很多都不在了，
对，
那你一定要慢慢，除非有传承啊，所以它本身就是一些比较那个大陆过来的，因为很多的菜都是配着，
对，就是一点点融合，但是你们是主打一些比较北方的面皮料理。It's the philosophy of the chef owner that makes it really Taiwanese. The owner was carnivorous for about 30 years of his life. Until he became religious. He switched to a vegetarian diet and then also switched to a vegetarian concept. I can relate that because as we think about the Taiwanese food history, there's so many turning points, whether it be due to religion or colonization. Kind of like how the Taiwanese people switched to medium grain rice to Japanese short grain rice, like that. Taiwanese people and their cuisine has had to switch it up at every turn and corner. The owner was just very used to this, and he very matter-of-factly switched it up.
它这个东西哦，它是大豆萃取的，也是自己有调料了，有调味。你没有调味的话，它有那个素味，我不会讲。那所以要把它洗过之后，然后还要再加酱油下去抓味道。
Every dish so far is just a classic example of the perfect execution on texture. Every dish. This dish is spongy in the best possible way. In the grand scheme of Taiwanese cuisine, or the food scene in Taiwan, we're at a turning point. We're about to flip a chapter because the old generation of master chefs are about to retire, right? This guy is like 60 years old. He said, realistically, how many years do I have left to cook? 你之前有在哪里学的你的烹饪技术？因为这些菜都是功夫菜。
我们是有请一个大师傅，几乎我们台湾的大间的店都有做过副主厨以上。那是他跟着我们，然后我儿子就跟他学。基本上这个素菜是就是没有蒜，没有葱蒜，其实转过来其实很简单的，不难的。荤菜有葱跟蒜嘛。
虽然你是说只是没有葱跟蒜而已，但是对我来说，如果你今天要我做一整桌的这样的素，我绝对做不到。
其实转个心境而已。 点的味道转个心境的，其实差不多。
I'm assuming his son is going to, take on his torch. And I wonder what kind of creativity he's going to add to this rather traditional restaurant. It honestly excites me a lot to think about that because the stuff coming out of that kitchen is all highly, highly technical. These techniques aren't dying. They are being passed on to the next generation, and we've witnessed it here, but it's just what is next? That is the million-dollar question.
If this is what tradition looked like, what about those putting a contemporary twist on plant-based dishes? Vegetarian cuisine is a growing market worldwide. And if I know anything about my fellow Taiwanese people, it's that they would smell opportunity. And I know just a place where local cooks are taking on this new frontier with a twist that is uniquely Taiwan.
So I gotta be honest, I've been a fan of this place ever since trying it in 2019. I mean, look at this. This is a veggie wall, right? It's the transparency. And the moment you come in, it's super welcoming. Vegetables in Taiwan just have a very, very certain flavor and texture that I just can't find it in the West, So the fact that they have this ready, all bundled up for you to pick out. So they combined vegetarian cooking and vegan dining with Lu Wei in a modern setting. It's a recipe for me, honestly. And everything is packed up nicely. You have the mock meats, to your fresh veggies, to your gourds. You have set combos. Hello， 你好，我戴个口罩。你好，我是 Eric。
哎，
你是店长？
对，叫阿蹦。
阿蹦，
你好。
哎，那我可以看一下你们的厨房吗？
可以啊，
参观一下。
来这边。
哦，厨房其实还蛮简单的哈。
对，因为卤味可能就跟一般餐厅比较不一样，我们的需求会比较低一点点。因为像台湾可能卤味比较多，一般是在夜市嘛。那我们就想说，把它可以搬到像百货公司或是像这样的店面，也可以做得比较漂亮，但就比较简单。
所以客人拿购物袋选东西带到这边来，然后你们把购物袋拿过来，那过程这边的流程是什么
？OK， 我就会把袋子拿过来挂在这里，那我们就开始煮。那流程的话，它其实像刚好这边有一个，对，它快好了。那我们一般就是料跟面会分开的，然后面起来。煮好之后，我们就会放下去，然后内场就会出餐，请客人过来，然后再跟他讲说，我们要怎么样去调他自己喜欢的口味
要不要加辣，要不要加什么什么 ？OK，
对。
然后你们的料包什么都是自己调吗？
对。
所以这个是，
这是早上调的。
It's a very herbaceous broth. Can't call it stock because there's no protein, but you can taste all the vegetables and then the fundamental aromatics. But the main ingredients is the medicine bag right there. I think that is the signature flavor. The presentation, really. It's presented like a bowl of noodles, but it's an 85% just vegetables and soy protein. And I feel like they know that the strongest point is their broth. That paired with the geographical advantages of having all these fresh vegetables in Taiwan, it's a killer combination. They really don't have to do much. 其实我们做这个秀探讨很多，就是可能从30年前到20年前到10年前到现在，那个蔬菜，素食的面貌在台湾有多大的改变？
如果面貌在我小时候的记忆，其实如果妈妈带我去吃素，但因为不是每天吃，可能有的时候是真的去那种素食自助餐，那真的会有个佛像，甚至里面放的是佛经。
对。
非宗教信仰的人是不太可能走进去里面吃饭，因为选择还很多这样。对，那是小时候的记忆这样。 然后在我在创业的时候，我觉得开始出现蛮多特色的，就开始有人把，主要我觉得小吃类比较多，像把章鱼烧变成素食的，然后到现在后来成那个 Beyond Meat 出来之后，开始汉堡啊，现在开始每间只要西式的素食店都一定有汉堡这样。
对，素食开始生活化。
我的客人其实里面，我觉得大概1半以上甚至80%都不是素食者这样。那我觉得这就是我当时一直想象说，能不能做到不要被贴标签说那就是素食店，然后那不是我必须去吃的选择的餐点这样子。
你卖的不是一个 diet， 对不对？不是一个饮食方法，是一个生活的方法。
对。然后它自主性很高，自己的决定权很高。消费者，我今天挑什么食材，我自己选，我要做什么酱料，甚至1份要多少钱，对，你可以自己决定。
我真的觉得你把它讲的实在是太简单了。我觉得你从走进来那个刹那，挑选东西，每一个细节，每一个步骤都掺杂了好多不同的元素，让你的生意就是这样可以长长久久下来。这个我一个做生意的，真的是我看每一个步骤我都是真的很佩服。